Shalom. First and foremost, giving our praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Machakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations unto you, Akim, uphold the testimony of Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity. All right, this is a continuation of the series of Acts, the 7th chapter. As you can see, chapter 7 is a bit long. So what I'm going to do is break it up in 3 sections in 20 verses. I'm going to jump right into it. Acts 7:1. Then said the high priest, and this is Stephen. Not the high priest isn't Stephen, but this is the trial of Stephen, persecution of Stephen the prophet, the disciple, and eventual martyr of Yahushua. It says, then said the high priest, are these things so? And he said, men, brethren, and fathers, hearken. And this is Stephen speaking. Hearken, the God of glory appeared unto our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia. So this is good because this is giving you quick synopsis history of the Israelites. It says when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelled in Haran, which that's the term Canaan. All right. Verse 3, and said unto him, get thee out of thy country, which is the land of Ur of the Chaldees, which is in southern Iraq. It says, and from thy kindred, and come into the land which I shall show thee. Then came he out of the land of the Chaldeans and dwelt in, for edification's sake, I'm going to simply say Canaan. I'm going to pronounce that as Canaan. And from thence, when his father was dead, he removed him into this land wherein ye now dwell. And he gave him none inheritance in it, no, not so much as to set his foot on it. Meaning Abraham didn't receive the inheritance of the land, but his seed did, which are the Israelites. It says, yet he promised that he would give it to him for a possession and to his seed after him. And so how did he get it for possession? Well, through reincarnation, because Abraham came back. And of course, the generations that came from his loins of the stock of Isaac and Jacob. It says, when as yet he had no child. Excuse me. So this promise was made before Abraham even had Ishmael or Isaac or any of his other sons from his concubines. All right. Verse 6, it says, and God spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, which is Egypt, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge. And that's the plagues that took place on ancient Egypt. The killing of the firstborn, the Passover, as we know, the plagues of locusts, of frogs, of the water being tarnished and turned red, and so on and so forth. It says, and after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And now the circumcision is of the heart. Having a pure heart, a pure mind. The head of the rod represents the brain. It represents the mind. All right, and so we're supposed to have a clean, pure mind. Our mindset is supposed to be oriented after the Most High Yahweh through his only begotten Son, Yahushua. That's the circumcision. The crucifixion was the cutting of the flesh. It was the cutting of the foreskin. circumcision. And so Abraham begat Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day. And that's a covenant and the law for Israelites to be circumcised on the 8th day. And Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs, which are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Verse 9, and the patriarchs moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt, but God was with him. He was with Joseph, our forefather Joseph, who is the progenitor of the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans. Yes, we recognize the Israelites that are scattered abroad throughout the four corners. Yes, we do. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter about skin color either. I can hit you with that one. Or language. There's neither Greek nor Jew. So we'll put that out there. But they descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, though. They do. It says, verse 10, and delivered him out of all his afflictions, out of prison, out of being enslaved, out of the well, all of that, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he made him governor over Egypt and all his house. Pardon me, got a little mucus. Verse 11, and there came a dearth of famine over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no sustenance. It was a 7-year famine in that period. Verse 12, and when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first, which were the patriarchs, Joseph's brothers, including Benjamin. Verse 13, and at the second time Joseph was made known to his brethren, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh. Then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred, threescore and 15 souls, which threescore means 60. And so 60 and 15 is 75. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, he and our fathers, and were carried over into Shechem, and laid in the sepulchre that Abraham bought for a sum of money of the sons of Emor, the father of Shechem, which those were Canaanites. Verse 17, and when the time of the promise drew nigh, which God had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dwelt subtly with our kindred. That's when the Egyptians took back power, the ethnic Mizraimites, ancient Egyptians, they took back power of Egypt. And evil entreated our father. That's where you get the dynasty of Ramses and so on and so forth. Our fathers, so that they cast their young children to the end that they might not live. Right, they were feeding our children, the gators, the boys. They were killing all the boys and saving the young girls for themselves. And that's why those, you know what, I'm not going to I'm gonna keep it cool. I was about to curse out those long-necked bastards. That's why you in South Sudan. That's why you in North Sudan fighting right. You in South Sudan. That's why you in South Sudan starving right now, eating mud cakes, right where you belong. You primitive savages. And they tried to exterminate us. Pardon me. Verse 20, in which time Moses was born and was exceeding fair. Fair means he was beautiful. It doesn't mean he was light-skinned. That term has been contextualized to mean light-skinned under white supremacy, which there's nothing wrong with being light-skinned. You have beautiful light-skinned people, but that's not what it means. It says, and nourished up in his father's house 3 months. And when he was cast out, I'm actually going to go to verse 30. Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and deeds. And when he was full 40 years old, he was raised under Pharaoh's house. He was a general under Pharaoh's army. He was a scholar. It says, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. He knew he was an Israelite, though. Pharaoh knew he was an Israelite. If Pharaoh's daughter had a son, he would know who's the father. That would be clear. It wasn't, oh, Daddy, I'm pregnant. That's not what happened. He knew he was an Israelite, but he allowed him to be raised up under his house. Verse 24, and seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed, and smote the Egyptian. And he supposed his brethren would have understood how the God by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. The same way they don't understand how the Lord set up the man of great millstone. Our people hate us. Verse 26, and the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove, and would have set them at one again, saying, sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one to another? Verse 27, but he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away. He pushed Moses away. And that's niggas for you. And you guys who coming up against us, you're going to die of thermonuclear missiles. It says, saying, who made thee a ruler and judge over us? Yep. Verse 28, wilt thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday? Then fled Moses at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian, where he begat 2 sons. One of his sons' name was Gershon, and I forgot what the other lad's name was. Verse 30, and when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount, it says Sinai, but it's we know it as Sinai, an angel of the Lord in the flame of a fire in a bush. All right, and we're going to continue the lecture and reading of Acts, the 7th chapter, in the part 2. I'll do it tomorrow, and we'll have the full Acts, the 2nd chapter, completed. I'm just going to continue at verse 31. So that, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Machakodash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations unto you, Akim. Shalom, and keep the faith.